What's the single biggest surface in any room of your house? It's not the walls, it's the floor, right? We spend a ton on furniture and decor, but a lot of the time, the very foundation of our home style gets treated like an afterthought. Today, we're going to explore how that foundation can be the most powerful decision you make, not just for how your home looks, but for how you actually live in it. You know, it's a question we all think about, and the answer is always about a feeling. It's about comfort, safety, and showing off your personality. So let's break that down. What are the physical things that actually build that feeling? Of course, our minds jump right to the furniture we pick out, the paint colors that shout who we are, and all the little things that tell our story. But there's one element we walk all over every single day that really sets the stage for everything else. It's the one constant, the backdrop for our entire lives. And honestly, it just might be the most important piece of the whole puzzle. I mean, think about it. The floor is the only thing that physically connects every single room. It's the visual thread that runs through your entire home. When you get it right, it makes everything else look better. But if you get it wrong, well, even the most gorgeous furniture can feel totally out of place. Now, a lot of us dream of that timeless beauty you get with natural heartwood or stone. But let's be real for a second. That beauty often comes with a pretty high price tag and, even worse, a ton of maintenance. It creates this classic dilemma. Do you go for style, or do you go for something practical that's going to last? But what if you didn't have to choose? This is exactly where modern flooring technology comes into the picture. It offers a real solution that perfectly balances all those needs, solving that exact conflict between how you want your home to look and how you actually live your life. So, what exactly is modern laminate anyway? If you're picturing those peeling, plasticky floors from the 90s, just wipe that from your memory. Today's laminate is this really cool multi-layered product. It's got a super high-definition photo on it that looks incredibly real, and then a tough-as-nails transparent wear layer on top. That's the tech that lets it mimic natural materials perfectly while being engineered for some serious resilience. This comparison really comes to life when you picture, say, a young couple buying their first home. They absolutely love the look of hardwood, but are stressing about the budget and the upkeep. For them, choosing laminate isn't a compromise. It's a super smart solution that gives them the style they're dreaming of without all the real-world stress and cost. And this is where that engineering really gets to show off. We're about to take a little tour through a day in the life, a series of daily stress tests to see how this kind of floor doesn't just look good, it performs under the pressure of actual, messy, chaotic, real life. First up, the morning rush hour. Picture this. It's 7:30 a.m., the house is just a blur of motion. It's the ultimate daily stress test for pretty much every surface in your home. You've got kids racing to find their shoes, breakfast chairs scraping across the floor, and, yep, someone inevitably spills their cereal. On a softer wood floor, every one of those scrapes is a potential gouge. But here, that tough wear layer we talked about just takes the hit. It means life can happen without you wincing at every little sound. Of course, kids aren't the only ones testing the limits of your floors. Let's talk about our four-legged family members. You know the drill. The dog gets excited, does a frantic lap around the living room, nails scrabbling for grip, or they come back from a rainy walk with muddy paws all over the place. Well, that protective top layer is designed to resist all those tiny little scratches, so those moments of fun don't turn into permanent marks. All right, let's head into the heart of the home, which also happens to be ground zero for messes, the kitchen. So you're cooking, sauce is splattering, a glass of water tips over. With old-school wood, moisture is public enemy number one. But a lot of modern laminates have these amazing water-repellent coatings and tight-locking joints that stop water from seeping in. It gives you plenty of time to just wipe it up with zero swelling or staining. It's a game changer. And the ultimate test for any floor? Well, it doesn't happen on a quiet Tuesday morning. It happens when you have a house full of friends and family. This is the moment we all dread, right? Someone gets a little too excited telling a story and a glass of red wine goes flying. You get that flash of panic. But here, the surface isn't porous, so the wine just sits on top instead of soaking in. A quick wipe, and it's like it never happened. The floor is just ready for real life. Okay, so this floor is tough as nails. We get it. But all that durability wouldn't mean a thing if it didn't look fantastic. So let's switch gears from the practical stuff to the fun part, aesthetics, and just how versatile this flooring can be. For example, if you have a really clean, minimalist space that's maybe at risk of feeling a little cold, a light oak finish brings in this natural warmth. It grounds the room, makes it feel way more inviting and balanced. It's a simple change that totally transforms the vibe. Now let's flip the script completely. For a cozy country-style home, you can go with a rustic design with deep textures and visible grain, all captured by that high-def photo layer, and it suddenly feels like the floor has been there for 100 years. It adds instant character. And what about a smaller space, like a city apartment? A pattern like herringbone can be an absolute game changer. It adds this touch of classic luxury, and the diagonal lines do this awesome visual trick that makes the room feel wider and bigger than it actually is. It's a designer's secret that works every time. So we have a floor that's durable and beautiful, but the final piece of the puzzle is that it's also a genuinely smart financial move for your home. This is all about thinking long-term. And that smart investment starts on day one, because for a lot of people, this is a totally achievable weekend project. The click-lock systems are designed to be super user-friendly. Just imagine that feeling on Sunday evening, looking at a brand new room that you transformed with your own two hands. This really highlights the core logic of the whole investment. You could go for a cheaper floor and save a little money right now, but if you have to replace it in just a few years, you've doubled your cost and your effort. Investing in quality up front means you do the job once, and then you just get to enjoy it for years and years. So it all comes down to this one simple question. Do you want a floor that's just beautiful for a little while, or one that's engineered to stay beautiful through everything real life can throw at it? The amazing thing is, with modern flooring, you don't have to choose anymore. You can actually have both.
What is it that makes a family business really, truly special? So often, it comes down to a story of pure passion, experience that's been earned the hard way, and this deep, unshakable belief in doing things right. Well, today, we're going to dive into the story of Tasba Floors, a flooring company in Amsterdam that was built on exactly that. Okay, so let's start right here, with the core idea that pretty much drives everything this company does. This one sentence, it's not just some marketing slogan. No, it's the very foundation of their whole business, the reason they even exist. It's a huge promise, so let's dig in and see how they actually make it happen.
So where does a story like this even begin? Well, as you might guess, we're getting right to the heart of it. And like so many of the best businesses out there, this one starts with family. And this is the key, right? The business was founded by three brothers. That means it's not just some faceless corporation. It's a family venture. It's built on a passion they all share. And you can bet there's a personal commitment that goes into every single floor they lay.
Now here's what's really interesting. Their story didn't just kick off the day they hung a sign on the door. Nope. It actually started years before that, out in the real world, learning the craft from the ground up.
Just take a look at this timeline. The brothers got into the flooring game way back in 2008. So for 4 solid years, they were in the trenches, mastering the skills and, this is crucial, really getting to understand the business from the customer's point of view. Only then, in 2012, did they feel ready to start their own thing. And those 4 years? Man, they were everything. It was during that time, working hands-on, listening to frustrated homeowners, that they figured out what really, truly matters to people when they're picking out a floor. It was never just about the product itself. It was about the entire experience.
So here's the big takeaway from all that time. They realized that customers were basically looking for 3 simple but absolutely essential things. High-quality materials? Yeah, but also the reliability that the job would be done right. And maybe most important of all, just some honest, straight-up advice. These 3 things became the absolute bedrock of their new company.
So armed with this amazing insight, they were finally ready to build something that actually reflected their own values. And that led them straight to their founding vision, quality for everyone.
And this just lays it all out so perfectly. The Tasba philosophy connects quality directly to accessibility.
They were on a mission, really, to completely shatter the idea that a gorgeous, long-lasting floor had to cost a fortune. But, saying quality for everyone is one thing. How do you actually make that a reality? Well, for them, it starts with having a whole range of options that can truly meet any need, and just as importantly, any budget.
This table here shows you exactly how they do it. I mean, whether a customer is looking for laminate that's easy on the wallet, or maybe some super durable PVC for a busy spot, or even that classic luxurious feel of real parquet wood, they've got a solution. It's all about matching the right floor to the right person.
And their whole approach just works for everyone. They bring that same philosophy, whether they're helping out individual homeowners, that's the particulare cliente slice you see, or working with small and medium-sized businesses, like shops and offices. Same dedication, same focus on real value.
But look, selling a great product is really only half the story. The brothers learned that lesson early on. The service you get is just as important. They knew the real headache for people wasn't just finding the floor, it was the stress of getting it installed. That's why they decided to offer a complete, totally worry-free experience from the first hello to the final plank.
This slide really just maps out their whole game plan. The journey kicks off with them actually sitting down with you to understand what you need. From there, they guide you through all the options, they handle the professional delivery, the installation, the whole shebang. They don't consider the job done until you have a perfect end result. It's designed to just take all the stress out of it.
So when you boil it all down, it comes back to this. Those core values they figured out way back in 2008, honest advice, quality craftsmanship, and reliability, they're all woven into every single step of the process. It's about building trust and delivering on that initial promise.
And that really brings us to the end of our look into the Tasba floor story. It's such a great example of how really understanding what your customers need and combining that with genuine passion can build an amazing family business from the ground up. So, it leaves you with a simple but powerful question. Are you ready for a floor that perfectly matches your wishes?